Okay, so good day, everyone. This is the fifth slide and the fifth file that I already sent to you. So I'm gonna discuss the technicalities of formulating the floor plans, roof plans, and the reflected ceiling plans. So this is more on the architectural detailing already. I'm also going to discuss the architectural drawing symbols later on. But first, let's start off with the discussion of the floor plans, roof plans, and reflected ceiling plans, and other pointers. So I think I already discussed the midterm project on our chat groups and the Google Classroom. So the midterm project is consists of three plates. The first one is the floor plans, roof plans, and reflected ceiling plans. So for the midterm exam, we'll have it on the schedule, on our schedule, and um, I think I already informed you about the presentation after. So basically, the presentation of your project will be um, individual, and I'll be giving you time to prepare as well the presentation through PowerPoint presentation. So basically, after the midterms, we'll schedule um, the defense and presentation of your projects. So um, maybe you can prepare a 10 to 15 minutes presentation and afterwards the discussion, and that would be six. We'll allot six presenters each meeting. That is good for 1 week. Okay. So first off, I think this is just a continuation of what we had on our previous plates. So since you already made the studies and the programming, it will be a lot easier for you guys to formulate or to make the floor plans and the other details of that as well. So if you have um, any questions of the formulation of the programming, at least let me know so that you won't have difficulties in formulating your um, plans. Okay, so let's start. So let's discuss first the floor plan. So a floor plan is a type of drawing that shows you the layout of a home or property from above. Floor plans typically illustrate the location of the walls, windows, doors, and stairs, as well as fixed installations such as bathroom fixtures, kitchen cabinetry, and appliances. Floor plans are usually drawn to scale and will indicate the room types, room sizes, and wall lengths. So they may be also show furniture layouts and include outdoor areas. So I'm gonna require you to um, show furniture layouts and the floor finishes as well in the floor plan. So what you need to reflect will be the floor finishes, may it be it floor tiles or wood tiles. So you need to show it as well. If you're not gonna show it, at least indicate that indicate a symbol FF, that means floor finish, FF01, and then indicate it on the side on your paper the legend. So if FF1 is tile, so write it on the legend. FF1 ceramic or homogeneous tiles, then the specifications and the dimensions. So, um, but it would be a lot easier if you can um, indicate it in symbol rather than um, drafting it manually, because it will take a lot of time since you need to detail each tile or each measurement of each tile. So it is important also as we'll have to show as well the furniture. The importance of showing it in the floor plan is to know if the area is sufficient. So, importante na siya para at least on actual, makita nimo siya kung how it is laid out. Because if not, um, maybe on actual, dili siya sufficient for that certain activity. So it is also important to lay out it as early as design phase pa lang. So floor plans are drawn to scale. So we have scales for that one, and it is important also to indicate it on unsa iyang scale. So if you're gonna put it like for ground floor plan, you need to indicate what type of scale did you use, so that if ang reason behind that one is not all items is na ay dimensions. I mean, you can't put dimensions in all aspects of your drawing, so, since it will be crowded na and it will create confusion. So the importance of scale is to measure, or is to know which scale are we going to use in order to measure it in actual. So basically, if wala siya isukod, we can use that certain scale. I think naaman mo yung architect scale or triangular scale, di ba? So if you're gonna indicate which scale did you use on the drawing, so basically it will be a lot easier to measure it on actual. So that's the importance of indicating the scale on the drawing. Okay, so yes, so the important key points to um, drafting plans is that you need to show, or you need to specify the doors, the locations, and the other important features of your project or of your drawing. Since if it is not reflected on the floor plan, then basically it's not gonna be on actual, or it's not gonna be constructed the way you envisioned it to be. So basically, if you have an important feature, you need to detail it and you need to highlight it and you need to reflect it on your plan. So what's not there is not there in actual. So basically, dili ka makaingon nga, as what I have said, di ba, before, dili ka makaingon nga na ana siya inaana diya, but it's not shown in the plan. So basically, kung unsay naa sa plano, mura gyud ay masunod. Okay? So that's the importance of detailing your plans. So the important keynotes is A floor plan should show the interior walls and hallways. So interior walls, that is zero point 0.1 or 100 mm for interior walls, and that is 4-inch CHB or 4-inch concrete hollow block. So that is for the interior walls. And for the exterior walls, that is 0.15 or 150 mm. That is equivalent to 6-inch CHB or 6-inch concrete hollow block. So you need to um, show that as well, the walls and the hallways. So important keynotes. If you're gonna design a hallway, make sure it is sufficient for passage and for circulation. So you need also to show the restrooms that is detailed. So you need to lay out the water closet, the um, uh, the lavatory, the shower area. So that is important. So actually, it's a must dyan sila to lay out that one, because that is dependent, or the plumbing plan is dependent on your layout. So it is important to detail it. Okay, ang the rest of the plans like electrical, the plumbing, the mechanical, and all other plans is dependent on your architectural plan. So basically, you need to apprehend and you need to design it as early as on the design phase of your project. So you need to show the windows and doors as well. So a floor plan no um, is a section, but it's a horizontal section lang siya. So if you're gonna cut your house 1 meter from your floor line, so that is, and you're gonna take out the roof and the other part of the section, that's your floor plan. So i-cut nimo ana, nakita na nimo, di ba? On the location of the windows, the doors, and other certain features. So, and it is important also. I I know some some designers don't use or don't indicate appliances on their plans, but it is important because if you're gonna lay out the electrical plan, the outlet is dependent on the number of the appliances or the number of the um, uh, different equipment that you're gonna use. So basically, um, that's the importance of showing it as early as on the design phase of your plan formulation. So you need to show also the interior features such as fireplaces, saunas, and a whirlpool. So as what I have discussed, no, if there is an important feature on your plan that you want to highlight, so basically you need, it is important to um, detail it on the plan so that it won't di siya makaligtaan actual na and on I mean during the construction. So you should also show the floor finishes. This is I think I already discussed this as well a while ago. Floor finishes, you can use the actual measurements and have it laid out on the floor plan, or you can just put a symbol FF0 FF, which means floor finishes, and the dash the number 01. So it's like ano lang siya, indication. So FF-01, that is your that is your floor finish. So that's an example. Floor finish. That's a legend. So wait lang. I'll set an example na lang. Um, floor tiles. So this is how it will look on the legend. But if you're gonna have it on the floor plan, just put FF01, place it on a rectangle, then you can just indicate it on like for example, dira mo siya ibutang. So butang ka diya rectangle, and you can indicate already FF01, that so that means ang kana siyang area diha is on kana siyang na area diha is floor tiles. Okay? Okay. So you also need to um, indicate the dimensions and the use of all rooms. This means indications like that room is a restroom and that room is a bedroom. So that is important. So indications. Column indications. I think I already discussed this. Na delete lang not to reflect the columns as of now. Kaya wala. We haven't discussed the structural components or the structural elements of designing. So, but it's important to show it, but not for now, since we haven't discussed it yet. So the section or cutting lines, that is this one. This one, the section lines. This is what I am referring. So it's important. This is an example of a floor plan. So we need to indicate the window designations. So that is the window 1, window 2, window 3. So you need to indicate that as well. Kaya yun na siyang i-detail on the schedule of doors and windows. Okay? So let's move on to the roof plan. So a roof plan is a scale drawing or diagram of a proposed roof development containing dimensions of the either roof structure, including shape, size, design, and placement of all materials, ventilation, drainage, slopes, valleys, and more. So this is, I think, when I asked you to make the site development plan, dili wala pa to siya naka-show ang roof plan, right? But basically, if you're gonna use site development plan, or if you're gonna make the site development plan, ang inyong i-reflect for the building area is the roof plan na. So, a roof plan should show roof type, roof finishes, roof types. I think you already discussed this in your earlier years. So there's gable, there's shed type of roof, there's hip roof. So that's in all other types of roof. That there's a parapet roof, and I think that's one of the common lang. So you need to also indicate the roof finishes. You can reflect it on your plan. You can either hatch it, or you can, if you're using AutoCAD, or you can manually draft the material. So for another one would be the slope of roof. So I think um, you already know this one as well. So the slope, you just need to indicate which area or which part is it sloping. So basically, if it's gonna slope, you're gonna indicate asa siya mo slope down. So meaning ani for here, it's gonna slope down here. And same with this one as well. And for this one, the other side. Okay? And it is important to show the building line. The building line that is, since it's hidden, diba? So you're gonna use the dashed lines for the building line. Um, there is a question, I think yesterday, it was brought up na how wide is the overhang? So basically, the minimum width of the overhang is 0.7, or that ranges to 0.7 to the maximum 1.5. So normally we're using 1.2 meters for the overhang. That is sufficient na to cover certain area or a certain shade on your wall or on your opening. So it's important also to show the dimensions, this one, the dimensions and all other dimensions, and the location of the column. It is important to show the location of the column para if you're gonna um, go on with the construction now, you'll locating certain areas is not difficult for you, since if you're gonna discuss certain areas or certain parts, you'll just say na it's somewhere near column D and column E and around column 1. So that's how you're gonna locate areas on construction. It's more on referencing it on the columns. Okay, so this is an example of the roof plan. The detailed, the better. So let's go ahead with the reflected ceiling plan. Okay, so a reflected ceiling plan is a type of architectural drawing where the plan of a ceiling gets projected on a flat plane placed directly below, displaying the orientation of various electrical or mechanical objects within the ceiling. So, um, I think a lot of you are not yet familiar with this one, since some of you are asking me on how to do the reflected ceiling plan. So the reflected ceiling plan um, is a projection lang of your ceiling to your floor plan. So you're gonna use the floor plan, but um, you're gonna locate the um, placements or the locations of the lighting fixtures and other equipment that you'll be using on your ceiling. So if you're gonna use or if you're gonna design or have a cove lighting or a design on your ceiling, that is also reflected on your ceiling plan. So that is the importance of ceiling plan. If you have your ceiling plan, muna siya basis on form or formulating or constructing the ceiling designs. So I think so here an example here is this is a cove lighting. So that means depressed na siya nga area here, and naa siya butanganan, or there's a space, there's an area to which you can mount the cove lighting or your LED strip light. Okay, so basically, if you're gonna have a flat ceiling, this is how it will look like. But if you're gonna have a design on the ceiling, so you have to um, show it on solid object lines. Sorry. Okay. So a reflected ceiling plan should show the lighting fixtures. That's I think um, you already have an idea of the lighting fixtures that is used commonly. So that's pin lights. Pin lights are those round, um, round and recessed light. We have the LED tube lighting. So basically, we won't be using fluorescent lighting, since so I discourage you to use fluorescent lightings on your future designs. So we will be adopting LED lighting already. So we'll have the LED tube lights, which is equivalent to the fluorescent lights, and we have you can use the chandelier, which what else? Chandelier for the lighting fixtures. You can have the wall lights, wall lamp, and LED strip lights. I don't know if you're familiar with the LED strip lights that is used on cove lighting. So it's used on uh, long strips na ceiling, and it's usually used as an accent or designs on the ceiling. So that's what we call cove lighting, and the fixture that is used in cove lighting is LED strip lights. So if you have any questions regarding that one, you can also ping me, or you can ask through our group chat. So a reflected ceiling plan should also show the location of other electrical and telecom accessories. So basically, this is referring to the emergency lights and the other um, I mean, electronics and communications accessories. So it is common on the mall development or on a commercial and office setting. So basically, if you're going to design a residential, this isn't gonna be that of much importance. So another is the ceiling finishes. If you're indicating it on the floor plan that you have certain finishes, then you need also to indicate it on the ceiling. So basically, what you're gonna use is the what you call that, the symbols lang. So like if floor finishes is FF, for the ceiling finishes it's CF. So, and the number indications, and put it on your legend. So that's how you're gonna detail it. And also, it's important to show the elevations, elevation markers on your ceiling plans. I mean, your reflected ceiling plans. So basically, if you're gonna have a cove lighting, there's certain changes of the elevations, right? So if if there's a certain depressed area, you need to indicate it. If what's the elevation from that area to the finished floor line. So if that is 2.8 meters from the finished floor line, so you need to indicate it through elevation marker. And if a certain area is far lower than the other certain areas. So we need also to indicate the changes of elevations. Okay, so basically in ano yun siya. So if this one here is different elevation, like for example, ni down ni siya. So you need to put it here on unsa siya on how deep is the elevation or how high is the floor to ceiling height. Although it is shown in this section, but it's important as well to put elevation markers on the reflected ceiling plan. So another key note is to provide dimensions, sufficient dimensions. Dimensions from the center of the fixture in relevance to the wall. So it's important in locating man good the um, provisions or abang for the electrical fixtures. So that is muna siya ko agbasi for the electricians to install the electrical fixtures or the kanang suga and all other electrical accessories. So, and you need also to indicate the location of columns. Okay. Okay. So this is the common plan symbols that we'll be using. This is the wall section. Wall section is used if um, you're detailing certain material on your wall. So basically, ayun niya siya. Kuan. Actually, this is pareha lang siya sa building section. Ang difference lang is the indications kung unsa siya unsa siya ikapila siya nga drawing and kung asa siya nga detail nimo makita. So basically muna siya ang kuan lang kanang indications. So if you're the important keynote here is to if you're gonna put a certain symbol, then make sure it is sufficient or it is uniform sa imuhang details after. So we're using the building section here. So if this one is building section cutting line AA or section through AA, the A-6 here, dito nimo siya makitan ang details sa building section AA. Okay? So, building section AA can be seen on drawing number A6. So, kung unsay details sa building section AA naa siya sa drawing A6. Okay? So, dili na siya ingon nga kani nga indication diri dili na siya ingon nga standard jud. Inyo ra na siya ibitang kung asa siya unsay numberings sa inyong details on the other succeeding pages. Okay, so the main object line, solid line na siya. I think you've already discussed this as well. So hidden or invisible line, that is dashed. So main object line, this is usually thick for the line weights. In hidden or invisible line, this is usually medium. So the long dash, short dash, long dash, short dash indicates center line. So this is thin. Where you discussed the line weights. So for the line weights, for the thick is that ranges to 0.0 0.3 and 0.6. If you're gonna use the set nga um uh sorry 2 4 6 and 1 3 5, that is for the odd numbers of the tech pen. The thick one is point 5. For the even numbers of the tech pen, that is point 0.6. So muna siya inyong thick. And for the hidden or invisible line, you'll use medium. So that is point 0.3 and point 0.4. So for the center line, that is thin. That is point 0.1 or point 0.2. For the dimension lines, thin, point 0.1 or point 0.2. For the texts on the dimension lines, that is medium, that is point 0.3 and point 0.4. For the extension lines, that is thin, that is point 0.1 or point 0.2. So indicates center line, that is thin, point 0.1 and point 0.2. Ball surface is medium. So this is the north direction. Actually, we have different variations of the north direction. The important thing is the arrow on which it points to the north, and the north indications, which is the letter N. For it is also important, no? I think to be mindful of the line weights and line types. So the column line grid, this is your symbol that you're gonna use. The partition, not we're not really gonna use this one because we're using naman normally the concrete hollow blocks for the CHB. So no need to indicate this. But if you're gonna use certain parts on your plan, like you're gonna use the drywall for that one, so you're gonna indicate it na different iyang partition type. So you're gonna put the number and you're gonna put it in the legend. It's important if you have other variations, you need to always indicate it in the legend. Okay. So the door number, actually the door number here, it's circle pero more na oval na siya diri, no? But it's round jud na siya. So for the room number, you need not to put a rectangular um, indication. So pwede ra room number dito. And for the window type, I think you already have seen this one. Ceiling height, this is what I know on the elevation. And if um, I think the revisions, you're not gonna use this kay if usually ang mga checker or the one who will be checking the plans will usually use the revision marker. So this usually ilang tawag ani is rev cloud. So if you can see a rev cloud or a cloud on a certain plan, that means you're gonna revise it. The number here, muna siya indication kung naano siya mga notes. So the notes ni siya. So like for note number 1, note number 2. So refer to note number 2. This is what it's portraying here. So the break in a continuous line, this is usually used if long na siya. Long lengths, and usually used in stairs as well. So muna siya ang break ato. So Okay, this one, refer to note number 3. This one is just notes. So indication of the notes. And this is what I've said earlier na you need to um, indicate the elevation marker on your reflected ceiling plan. So here, so if unsa ni siya elevation here from the finished floor line, you need to indicate it here. So magbutang ka diha og elevation marker. So let's say for example that is 2.8 from the finished floor line. So butang ka diha 2.8 meter. Okay. So if you're gonna show the interior elevation, this is usually shown on, or this is usually used on the interior plans. So in a plan, let's go back to the plan. So usually ibutang na siya diri ang inyong interior elevations. So meaning ana for this one that is a so or that's elevation 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's go back. So if you're gonna use it this one, so 1 meaning ana on your elevation kani imong gipakita, that's elevation 1, elevation 2, elevation 3, elevation 4. So that's for the interior elevations nga marker or symbol here. So that's what you're gonna reflect it. But for us, I'm not gonna require you to have or to make the interior elevation, since the important thing for us as of now is to formulate the exterior elevations. Interior elevations, that's more on the interior design already. So like um, the layout of the areas and the designs. Mainly, this is just gonna show if there are any major features or designs and accents on the interior. So basically, muna siya yung importance of the interior elevations to show sa katong features na um, outstanding or kanang nai accents. Okay? So I think I already discussed this as well. No? So visible, solid line, that is dash line and visible. So this is more on the building lines sa atong roof plans, no? Central line, don't um don't forget center lines, dimension lines, extension lines, the alternate position, line of motion, cut in place, repeat lines, broken material, limiting break, cross hatching line. So it is very I am really keen, no, on using alphabet of lines and more particularly on the line weights. So you need to draft it on different line weights talag jud if you're gonna use the or if you're gonna manually draft it. And so as well with AutoCAD generation or AutoCAD generated plans. So um, don't use one single type of pen. Use 3 types of pen. I won't require you to use the expensive one sa katong refillable. The disposable pens will do, but make sure na the thickness of the lines is still um, identifiable. Like for it, if it's point 0.1, it's gonna be thin, right? And for its if it's point 0.3, so it's medium, point 0.5 thick. So at least there's still a difference of the three different types of or line weights. So I think that's just the importance of line weights, because you're gonna um, differentiate man good if it's a major or it's a minor detail. So, and it would be a lot um, ano ba, presentable to have it on different line weights and to follow the alphabet of lines. Okay? So, okay. I think that would be all for the late for the technicalities of formulating and generating the floor plans. Um, if you have any questions, you can just DM, direct message me, or you can have a, an email sent to me. Okay? So thank you and enjoy the rest of the day.